Right, so we are continuing looking at repeating decimals with a few definitions. So the first definition is the repetend. The repetend is going to be the repeating blocks of the digit. Essentially what that means is the numbers that repeat. So going back to that fraction I saw in the last video, 2 over 11.18181818, the numbers that repeat are going to be a 1 and an 8. And so those are the digits that repeat, the repetend. The period is going to be the number of digits that repeat, the size of that. So looking back at the period for 2 over 11 or 0.181818, the size is going to be there are 2 numbers that repeat, the number of numbers that repeat. And then I've got the bar notation. Bar notation is just what we introduced in the last video. I can write these decimals with a bar over the repeated digits. And so I can write 0.181818 as 0.18 with the bar. And remember with that, we want to write it with the least possible digits. So we do not want to write this as 1/8 1/8 repeated that way. We want to write it as 0.18 repeated. Now let's use these definitions and look at some examples. So the directions say write the following using a bar, determine the period and repetend of each. So I've got this decimal 0.9876767676. So the first thing I'm looking for is what numbers repeat. So here I start to see the 9/8 doesn't repeat, but this 7/6 repeats. So I want to write that as a decimal with the bar attached. Now I can't put the bar over 9/8, but I can put the bar over 7/6, because if I put it over 9/8, then that means the 9/8 is also repeating. The repetend, or the numbers that repeat, are going to be 7/6, and then the period is the number of numbers, which would be 2 of them. Okay? All right, the next one, 3.77777, and so on. First thing I want to do is write it with that bar notation. And so I'm going to put the bar over the numbers that repeat, which in this case is just 3.7. So I have that bar over just the 7. The period is the repetend is the number itself that repeats. So that's going to be 7. The period is the number of numbers that repeat. So in this case, that is 1, because just 7 repeats. All right, last example. I'm looking for what digits repeat. So looking at this pattern, 94612612612, I can see that the numbers 612 are repeating. So first thing I want to do is write it as a decimal using the bar. And so I've got 0.94612. Well, the 9/4 doesn't repeat, so I'm just going to put the bar over 612. The repetend is going to be the numbers that repeat. So that's 612, and then the period is the number of numbers that repeat. We're going to skip this next part